they do have their moments that they do scrap, and you know, it's like humans. Sometimes we get irritable for whatever reason, and we just need our space, or just not having it, and maybe they're bored, and so they just start fighting. But I mean, all in all, parakeets are wonderful animals to have. They do get bored, so like if you're planning on getting just one, buddy, so funny. If you're planning on getting one bird, to me, I would suggest getting a male parakeet, because the male is really likely to bond with you more. They don't bite usually. They'll bond with you fast, but you gotta make sure that you give them attention. You have them in a place where they get used to you, and they'll bond with you. But if you feel like, oh, my bird, even though I am bonded with my bird and my bird loves me, but he seems like he's lonely or she's lonely, then just get a partner, introduce them. Some people say you gotta put them in separate cages because you don't know if that bird's sick or if they'll get along. As for me, I put all three of them in a cage. I had the blue one first, baby girl. Then I got Princess. You know, baby girl was actually by herself for a couple of months, so when I introduced Princess, she overwhelmed Princess a little bit with showing her how happy she was to have somebody there, and she was kissing her and following her all over the place and saying that you're welcome to my house. And Princess actually got irritated with her. But then they bonded really good, and like I said in my previous video, I got Buddy 6 months after. So he came in, and baby girl was just letting him know that this is my place, and she pecked at him, beat him up pretty good. And now he's both of their boyfriend. Princess and baby girl, they barely interact the way that they used to. They barely feed each other or groom each other. That's Buddy's job. He does that to Princess the most, but baby girl's the one that pursues Buddy. But I mean, they're just really precious animals to have. As for me, I did have their wings clipped in the beginning. I clipped their wings at first. It's easier to, you know, it's kind of easier to get them if they fall on the ground and stuff like that, because they can't fly away, so they depend on you more if there's not a way for them to get back to their cage. But it's much better for them to be able to fly around, so make sure that you don't have any open windows or fans that are going at the moment when you let them fly around. Make sure it's bird safe, so when they fly around and they explore the place, they don't land on something that's sharp, or they don't fly into the windows or to the wall, especially if it's their first time flying. My 3 birds have never flown before because I got them from the pet shop, and their wings have always been clipped. So they were actually experiencing freedom and flying around in my room for the first time. And yeah, they did fly into the window, they flew into the wall multiple times, and I did check on them to see if they're okay. And thank God nothing happened to them. They didn't get injured, and you know, it's just good exercise for them. It keeps them happy. It doesn't make them feel like they're a prisoner, you know, because they're able to get out and fly around. Princess, she likes to perch more. She's not really into flying. She doesn't know how to fly too well. Sometimes she'll attempt it, and she kind of freaks out when she gets away from the cage, and so I have to help her back on the cage. But this is just a video to show you how lovely these birds can be. And as for me, for them to entertain themselves, I like to have toys for them. I like to at least have them come out of their cage once a day. If I'm home, I have them come out more than that. I have 2 bath dishes for them. I have some toys they can play with on top of their cage. Inside their cage, I try to change the toys out ever so often, but their swing has to stay. And one of their toys with the basketball hoop has to stay in there because they like to perch on that. But it's just really important that you realize that these birds, even though, you know, birds are birds, and just as a precaution, like, if you want to go and grab your bird for whatever reason, please do not grab it too hard, because their chest, they don't have bones covering their lungs or their heart. So if you squeeze them too hard, you can actually kill them because it's soft over there. And just don't make sudden movements towards your birds. Even though I've had these birds for a year, they still get frightened if I approach them too fast. And they start breathing really hard. They look scared and frightened. And birds can have a heart attack if they're frightened too much. So I just give them their space. And, you know, sometimes I'll put like a stick inside so they can jump on top of the stick and go on top of my finger if they choose to. But I've learned not to force it. Because since they're bonded in like this 3-bird flock, they would rather have me at a distance, and I'm okay with that. Just watching them, hanging out with them, you know, and watching them live their lives, that's precious to me. So if there's anybody out there who wants to get birds, I hope that you would let them fly around. Give them a room that they can fly around in. They love music. Like whenever I put music, they have a melody that they sing to. And they're really happy-go-lucky kind of birds. And I've had them for over a year, and knock on wood, they haven't gotten sick yet. You know, just as long as you let them hang out, come outside ever so often. Sometimes I bring them outside in a lanai in a cage and just have them look outside. They're really pleasant birds to have. Okay, you guys, have a beautiful day. Thank you for watching. Bye.